Hello, today we're going to check in on my SPS collection and I'm going to tell you about my cleanup crew. Hello and welcome back everybody to Amra Azul TV. This is the long-awaited and belated March update. Although it's in April, I shot all of this footage in March and I just didn't have a chance to upload it. So here it is. I thought this video, I'm going to show you do an SPS tour, but what I really wanted to show you this video is my cleanup crew. I think the cleanup crew is super important for any reef tank, but it's something that often kind of gets neglected, right? It's always kind of an afterthought. We all want to see the fish, we all want to see the corals, but to me it's the cleanup crew that actually really runs the tank. I've been getting a few questions about how big my cleanup crew is and what kind of snails I like. So I thought for this video I'm just gonna sneak into the tank at night and show you my cleanup crew. So here we go. Meet the cleanup crew of the Red Sea Reefer 250. Okay, so I will start with snails. I'll preface everything that I say here is that I think diversity is key for your cleanup crew. There's lots of really good ecological theory showing that diversity of species is related with the ecosystem stability, and I think that could probably apply to our reef. So many different things that do slightly different functions in terms of consuming algae. I think overall that's going to be your best bet than just kind of picking one type of snail or one type of hermit crab and that sort of thing. So I'll start with my snails. I think in my Red Sea Reefer 250, which has got a display of I think about 55 gallons, I probably have at least 60 snails, probably more. But at least 60. I counted about like 55 that one night that I did this video, and I'm sure I have there was like more hidden in the rocks. So I would say like 60, 70. I like to have a mix of snails. What you're looking at here is turbo snails. Turbo snails come in many different varieties. There's the Mexican turbo snails. Some turbo snails are kind of short-lived, and so I try to have at least like 10 turbo snails, and if I see that they die off, I replenish them. So by far they're the biggest kind of snails I have in the tank. I try not to get the monstrous ones because they can like bulldoze things a little bit. So I usually opt for medium-sized snails turbo snails when I'm picking them up. They do a fantastic job of cleaning the glass, cleaning around equipment, and they're always on the rock work, munching around corals and that sort of thing. So really awesome. Highly recommend. All right, another type of snail that I strongly recommend is the black-footed. Let me make sure I have the name right. The black-footed Trochus snails. These are great. Many times they'll actually spawn and reproduce in your aquarium. So I bought, I think, maybe a dozen Trochus snails when I started the tank 4 years ago, and I haven't had to buy them ever since. They've just been like they've sustained themselves and they're able to essentially replenish themselves, and every now and then I see cute little baby Trochus snails. What I really like about these is I do have sand in some parts, and if they fall in the sand, they're actually able to right themselves and get back on the glass, unlike Nasseria snails, which sometimes when they fall in the sand they just kind of perish. Here is Margarita snails. I think I have about a dozen or so of them in the tank. Again, I'm fairly certain that that these snails probably have slightly different habitat preferences. So here is that's really why I'm trying to strive for diversity here. The idea that multiple types of snails will prefer different types of algae, and for the tank that's a positive thing because it will kind of reduce some of the competition between snails and make sure that all the different types of algae is being consumed by one type of snail or another. So these snails are pretty cool, although they have issues with the sand. So maybe if you have like a lot of sand in your tank, I might not recommend these, but In my tank, they seem to be doing fine. Then I have about 10 or 12 of these Nasseria snails. Hopefully I got that name right. So they do dig in the sand bed in the daytime, and they come out at night and they eat on the glass, and I've seen them eat around like frag plugs and that sort of thing. Pretty cool. Here is another type. They come in different colors, or the dark colors, and then I'm sure they're different species, but they're dark shells and light shells, and I've had both, and both kind of seem to do well in my tank. All right, next type of snail is these. I think they're called Nasseria snails, I believe. I have about 6 of them in my sand bed. They're really cool. They hide in the sand. You can see like there's another buddy there. They stick out their siphon above the sand, and like as soon as something dies, they're the first things that kind of show up on the scene. Very, very cool. I think I got like 4 or 6 of them when I started the tank, and they're still hanging around. So pretty cool snails. Yeah, they're freaky looking, but I really like them. And then I have these. I have a couple of these dollar cowries, which are these beautiful, like amazingly translucent and shiny shells in the daytime, and at night the mantle is excreted over the shell. And I think hopefully I got the terminology right. And then they scoot around munching things on the rock. All right, the next kind of class of cleanup crew that I also have in my tank are crabs. So I have 2 types of crabs. I have hermit crabs, and I think I would say about 10 or maybe 12. So typically what I do is I wait until they go on sale, and I buy like a dozen. I dump them in my tank, and then next year when they go back on sale, I buy another dozen. They will like kind of maybe catch and eat some of your snails and use their shells as they grow, but it's I think the solution to that is you just have more snails. It's not a pest, and I feel like they do pick up different things and consume different things than the snails. So here's a hermit crab happily coexisting with a Nasseria snail next door. No fighting, no killing of the snail. I haven't tried many different species of hermit crabs. I typically just buy the blue-legged hermit crabs only because I think the blue legs kind of look cool. I have heard some concerns over possible the hermit crabs kind of getting a little bit too aggressive, but with the blue-legged hermit crabs, I haven't had any issues. I also have at least 1 emerald crab in my tank. Here's this cute little female, and it's extending its abdomen. Actually, I haven't seen that. I'm not sure why, because I don't think that's how they feed. It's not like she's pushing things in their abdomen. I think maybe she's just cleaning her abdomen. Anyway, cute little thing. Sometimes they get really large, and then when they eventually die, I will just kind of replace them with a small one. In my tank, usually they live about a year or so. Very good. I know that they're specialists on bubble algae, but I have seen them consume green hair algae and other kinds of algae, as well as just general detritus. So I'll preface this by saying that obviously I run a very high nutrients tank, like 5 parts per million nitrates, 0.16 phosphates, and there's algae in my sump, there's algae in the overflow, so I know that my tank is clean because my cleanup crew is doing their job and cleaning all the surfaces. There is a blue tuxedo urchin. I highly recommend. Very busy, always going up and down, cleaning the glass. Munching things. Now I'm going to shift to kind of non-traditional cleanup crews, but things that I think are helpful in terms of keeping your tank clean. So this is a clam, and we know that clams are essentially act as like little filters. They have a siphon, they suck in water, filter it, and release clean water. So I think they do have a role in terms of a cleanup crew in your tank in terms of filtering the water. Then fish, I have 2 types of fish that are known herbivores. This is my algae blenny, Kenny, still alive, still being badass. He is always hanging around rocks and kind of chewing things. And obviously, like tangs do a great job of consuming algae as well. Here's Lululemon, my yellow tang. That little scar on his side, he always has that, even when he was like a young little baby. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but otherwise just fabulous fish. I try not to feed nori with the idea that I rather the tangs and the blennies kind of eat the actual whatever algae is in the tank. So I rarely eat nori. Like, well, maybe once a week I'll add a nori clip just as a treat. So that's it for my cleanup crew. Yeah, let me know if you have as many snails as I do. I'm always kind of curious how many how many snails people keep in their tank. But you saw that, like in my tank, at least I have like a very substantive population of snails. All right, SBS tour, things are going really well. I'm not gonna do like a play of everything here, but just kind of show you some of the colors. The pink lemonade is looking really nice. I'm impressed with how fast it's growing. TNT and Acropora, I think I'm giving it too much light. It was growing a lot faster when it was on the sand bed, so I might want to move it. Rainbow Loom and my Agitort looking really good. I have to trim the Agitort soon. Oh yeah, so this is my reef raft pot of gold millipora, and it was doing nothing, but I'm starting to kind of see little nubs growing out from the side, so I'm excited about that. Marvin the Martian, strawberry shortcake looking really pretty and definitely expanding and getting larger, so yay shortcake. This is the longest I've ever had a shortcake, so fingers crossed. This is a PC Rainbow, and you can see I've been increasing the par, and the more par this frag gets, the less green I get and the more red I get. So that's kind of interesting. I actually personally thought it looked a little bit better with lower par, but the red is getting a little bit deeper here. Jaw dropper, very interesting color. Yeah, that like golden, I guess we could call that golden, the base. Definitely unique kind of color. My Walt Disney kind of still looking a little bit boring. Little Red Ferrari, I think it's yeah, doing great. Coloring up, well, the colors are pretty good. Hawkins is Shonada. You can't, like, nothing else has that color. So love that piece. I just wish it growing a little bit faster. And of course, Orange Passion, beautiful. Again, I wish it's growing a little bit faster, but you gotta love the colors. Cali Tort, very vibrant blue. And then the colony up top is the bubblegum Digi. This is defying the laws of physics. The more I frag it, the faster it grows. And then one thing that I did was in this pot here, which is a fox flame, it was actually like an applejack, and I've decided the applejack is the same thing as rainbow loom, so there's no sense having two colonies of rainbow loom, so I actually removed that one, and I thought that the fox flame would look a little bit nicer in that spot. The green slimer, it's getting really tall. It's definitely looking like a staghorn acropora. So from top you don't appreciate the length, but it's getting like, it's about 5 or 6 inches, so it's pretty impressive. And then the end of the tour, we have here rainbow wine, lovely blue and white coral, very pretty. So overall things have been going really well. Can't really complain, and I'll do my best to do more regular videos. It's just life has been a bit hectic, but hopefully you're all okay, and you're all enjoying your tanks, and things are going well, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button and see you soon. Bye.